Well, hello and good morning, friends. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope everyone can hear me. We are waiting just a few moments, as we gear up here and welcome some of the, mentors and mentees of the mentorship program, the Light.Art Mentorship Program. I'm excited that you all are joining us. Thank you so much. And here with me co-hosting today, I have Matt. Can you hear me, Matt?
I can. Good morning, Annie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it.
Oh, grateful for all those that are showing up. How exciting to see our mentors and mentees come. And so can't wait to hear how's it going and any Q&A. And if you're in the space right now, we would love for you to share about the space that's going on so we can have more eyes here if you're able to. Very cool. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us here on the stage. We have a few guests already. So why don't we go ahead and say hello to our friends that are here. We'll start with Houston, Downs and Towns. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
GM, good morning.
This is Houston and Katie, and our friend Swati. Yes, we are. Hi.
Swati is in the house. Oh my. You guys.
Actually,
Amazing.
we're in Swati's house.
Amazing.
So
Starting
we're in San Francisco visiting Swati, which is just an incredible benefit of being part of this family. So we're happy to be here.
So happy to be here. It's been so long. I left Twitter, but it's so nice to hear your voice again, Annie, after so long, and Matt, hi, and everyone else. So happy to be able to listen to this space today.
You are missed, my friend. And I'm so glad that Katie and Houston are with you. How exciting is that? What an amazing treat for all of us that we get to hear from you both, but then also Swati. How fun. How exciting. And I'll move on. Next, we have Pop Stowe, who's joining us here on stage. Welcome, Pop Stowe. Thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you for the invite. It's crazy to hear that it's morning for many of you. It's quite evening for me here, but glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us. Where, if you don't mind me asking, where are you joining us from?
Northern Finland.
Oh, how amazing. Finland. Look at that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And next we have F. Dodd, one of the mentors. Thank you so much for being here, F. Dodd. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? Thanks for hosting this space.
GM. We are so excited. Next we have Barbie, another mentee. Hello, Barbie. Thank you for joining us. How are you?
Hey everyone, thank you. I'm glad to be here and be part also on the mentorship. And everything is good here.
So cool. Barbie, where are you joining us from?
I'm in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
So cool. So Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Finland are respectfully joining us together with our USA friends. So I love hearing how we're connected around the world. And so thank you for joining us, Barbie. Buenos días o buenas tardes ya para ti. Esta tarde.
Sí, buenas tardes.
Querida. Well, Matt, would you like to get us started?
I would love to. So, hey, thanks for everybody that was able to make it today. It's a little tough with the format of spaces, but let's try to make this just a roundtable and conversation more than going down the line and calling people out to answer questions. So feel free to chime in when you can. And I think I would just like to start the first question with a general question for both mentors and mentees. And it was, What attracted you to this program, and what are you hoping to get out of it? Does anybody want to start?
Yeah, I mean, I could share my views and how this all came to be, me applying. Um, First and foremost, I've been following you guys and many here for a few years now, and met most of you in New York as well. And I'm working on I've been working on a few collections these past years, and been kind of frustrated on how difficult it is as an emerging artist to um, find more eyes to your art. Let's say it like that. In this bear market, it feels like the bigger you are as an artist, it's been easier in some ways. So I've been looking to in different ways to find, ways to get more people to be familiar with me and with my art, and maybe some new ideas on how to distribute this new collection that I've been working on. And that's basically the TLDR on my situation.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's a challenge. Sometimes we think we're the only person having challenges, but then I think the strengths of these mentorship programs, I think we will learn we're all having that problem, right? Like I think our artists and even collectors are having a hard time communicating, getting their messages out, seen. So I think that's a great reason to join the mentorship program, and hopefully we can help you along the way. Annie, I'm going to call you out for just a second. So while we were setting up this program, Annie asked me if I could mentor her in a similar format, even though we talk all the time. And I think, Annie, if you want to speak to it, we kind of came up with that same challenge, right? I mean, that is not we spent some time talking about that.
Absolutely. I think as artists, we can get stuck in one area, and it's nice to hear an overall perspective, like step back and have someone else looking in from the outside looking in, kind of help us out. We get to zoom in, and having someone from the outside looking in always gives us a better perspective. So I agree.
Yeah. Anybody else want to jump in on this topic?
Yeah, I think with us, for those of you who don't know, Houston has Down syndrome, and he does travel photography, and so we got into the NFT space about almost 3 years ago, and it's a huge learning curve for us, and so we're happy to learn any chance that we get, but also Matt, you were probably the first person we heard interviewed in the space, so we've been huge fans for almost 3 years now, or certainly over 2 years. And when you formed Miyamo Art, we listened into the announcement, and when Light.Art and Miyamo Art joined together, we were listening to that. And so it's just an honor for us. Again, the learning curve for us is not usually very steep. It's very slow going, and we enjoy anybody that will take us under their wing and help us to learn more. And again, we're here in San Francisco with our friend Swati that we've made through the space. We were here with several other Web3 friends, and the community that's being built here is just incredible. And so we're honored to be a part.
Thanks, Katie. Thanks for the kind words. And for those of you that don't know, with our mentorship program at Light.Art, we have 4 stated mentors and mentees. But while we were talking internally, the group, I volunteered. I said I would kind of like to do this. I'm kind of missing out, and so the team said, "Great, you can be the 5th secret mentor." And I selected Houston and Katie, and we actually have our first call this afternoon, so I can't report any progress thus far, other than you guys got on the call today, so I feel like that's some progress, so that's good. F-Dot, have you made contact yet with your mentee, or is that still up to come?
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for a good moment to speak. We've had 2 calls so far, and the first one was a little longer. The second one was a little shorter just because of schedules and a lot of projects happening for both of us around the same time. Excuse me. And yeah, I've really been enjoying it so far. I think my reason for joining this was because I've had several mentors in my life that I wanted them to be more present, or I was looking up to what they were doing, but I didn't really know them in person. It was just me following them online, and didn't get as much out of that mentorship because it wasn't really an official program. It was just me listening to content and trying to implement it. And I felt like this was a way to go much deeper than you could go in public. There's a lot of things that artists don't get to talk about in public because of one reason or another. There's just limited time and attention that you want people to focus on your art or other stories or other things. And there's so much that goes into this that needs to be talked about with people you trust. And I also think that this goes beyond Web3 for me. I started in Instagram, building my audience about a decade ago. And there were people who were doing digital and physical art. And today I still really resonate with those artists that are bridging outside of Web3. And I wanted to find somebody in the mentorship program who was doing both physical and digital art. And so I've reached out to Luciana, who's also in Argentina, a different part of Argentina. She was also on the Rio Art Residency a few months ago. So I got to meet her in person before signing up for the mentorship program. And it's been great so far. She has some exhibitions coming up, and mainly what we've been talking about is the marketing side of it, because she has the art really nailed down. So helping her kind of come out of her bubble and her introversion to be able to speak or talk in front of the camera and get to share more about the art. But yeah, thank you for selecting me and also hosting these spaces and this whole program. It's been great to see what everyone's been bringing to it and taking from it. And we're only halfway there through the month, so still a lot more to come.
That is awesome. 2 calls, you overachiever, you. Geez, now you made me feel bad. I haven't even had one yet. So,
all good. Take your time.
Yeah. No, that's super good. That's great. And while they're not on, I don't see them on today. Both Roger and Kelly, who are our mentor mentee, moving forward, were on last week. Kelly was our artist spotlight, and they spoke briefly to the mentorship as well. And actually they had a very similar message that you just had, F. It's very interesting. I think Kelly is looking for some of the same things. Her art certainly dialed in. But she's looking for ways to communicate. I think, like Popsto said too, it's just the challenge we all have. And I think you touched on something, and Annie, maybe you want to go further into this. I think you touched on something that's really important, and that is the importance of in Web3 and out of Web3, and that they coexist and they work together and they can support each other. It's not either or. And sometimes I think in the insanity of Web3, sometimes we maybe just immerse ourselves 100% in Web3, and then it's difficult to be seen, and it can maybe not be as positive an experience as it could be. And I think we're all better off if we remember Web3 is only a part of this journey, of maybe even a small part. I don't know, but it's only part of the journey, and it needs to be complemented by outside of Web3. Annie, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's so much development that happens as artists when we are physically doing stuff with other people and connecting IRL, and then Web3 is another chapter of the journey, I think. I would love to hear from Barbie and Popsto in regards to the question of joining the program. I think it's fun to hear where they are in their hearts of hearts, like in the space. And so, yeah, Barbie, would you like to share why did you sign up for the program?
Yes, of course. Well, when I first saw that it was the program, I instantly was like, okay, this is a great opportunity to, if I get selected, to improve a lot of things that I've been wanting to improve for some time, but maybe I didn't find like the answer myself. So what is the better way to learn than from people that has a lot of background and a big career behind, and so to learn from their experience. And also I saw that one of the mentors was Siobhan, and so I admire her work for some long time now, and was like it was like it could be amazing if I get selected and she chooses me, because we have some similarities on our work and our journeys. So it would be amazing to have the knowledge of her, that she has built a long career in a field that I really like. So I wanted to join it because of that, and to get also myself out of my bubble, because I'm a quite shy person, and sometimes I get nervous, and maybe I say like, no, maybe I shouldn't talk, or maybe I shouldn't say that, or whatever. And it's a big help to have another perspective on how to be myself and communicate, and don't be nervous about what people will think. So it's a great opportunity for that.
And that's to hear it. And something that you mentioned is you admire one of the mentors that were in the program, and you ended up having to you ended up pairing very well with that mentor. So that's something that we talked about behind the scenes, is the mentor's strength, and we wanted to pair them up and give them the list. We divided up the list, right, in a way that it would help facilitate the mentors picking their person. We tried as much as possible to narrow them down based on their specific talents and gifting. And so it's very sweet to see that you ended up with the mentor that you were looking forward to hearing from. So that's very special to us.
Yes, that was really amazing for me. Really, I was really happy when I got the notice.
So cool. Well, we're so excited for you. The mentors pick their own out of a list, so I'm very excited to hear that. Moving on to Popsto. Popsto, tell us why did you apply for our program?
I think the TLDR was earlier when I mentioned getting a different perspective and branching out of the your own bubble, and finding ways to get more eyes to my art. But also I think that Ryan Koopmans is my mentor, for those that don't know, and I've had the pleasure to meet Ryan this year and last year in NFT NYC, and both times we clicked it off really well and been talking as much as we could during all those many events that there were, and now I feel like I really find value that Ryan brings, the perspective. And obviously he's done a lot of great art for a long time, and has the knowledge and connections in this space that I don't have necessarily. So diversifying that, and basically having a person to look at your stuff and your methods and saying his own opinion on things, it's really valuable.
So cool. I love to hear that. And we welcome to the stage Luciana. And so, Luciana, thank you so much for joining us. Also from Argentina. Buenos días. How are you?
Hola, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, how are you? Very happy to be here.
We're great. We're grateful.
I lost the beginning, so I guess the first question was why we applied, or I am lost.
Yes. The first question was, why did you want to join the program?
Well, I thought it was a great opportunity to improve my skills and to get more advice and knowledge about how to move in Web3 space. And my mentor is the best one in the world, which is F. He's given me a great advice, and I am improving a lot of things. And he's helping me too to organize myself, because I am always in a lot of projects and things, and I need also to choose which one are the best one, where to place where to mint my best artwork, what things I have to develop a little more, and things like that. But I am very happy because this is exactly what I was looking for. So thank you so much for choosing me for this program.
What, how exciting that you applied and we didn't choose you. F dot chose you. So this is so exciting. It goes back to, we were saying with Barbie, how exciting that the mentors you were hoping to get, you got. And so, that's very special to us. Matt, did you want to add anything else before we move on?
No, no, this is great. I think there's a lot of recurring themes going through here. And so those that are listening, I think you can learn from that. I know we're a broken record on these spotlights and these spaces, but one recurring theme that came out of Houston and Katie, as well as Popstyle, was connections they've made in real life with Web3 community, and how that has affected them in a positive way. And so we understand that not everybody is able to go to a large conference for many different reasons, but there's somebody in Web3 just down the road from you, or in the community, the town you live in. And I think even, small in real life experiences like having coffee with somebody that you have followed online can really pay dividends emotionally, mentally, and it could just really help. So with that being said, let's get these people back up and let's have them talk some more.
Yeah, we would love to hear, in no particular order, but we were hoping to learn more. What are you hoping to gain from the program?
I
Anyone
can
can jump in.
I can touch on the IRL stuff, going to conferences and events, and I think I've always been saying that for the past 3 years that I've been in this space, that in this space, when everything and everyone is 99% online, it's really, really fun and interesting and useful, and in all different ways to go to meet with all the people you talk to on a daily basis, whether it's Twitter or Discord, and whether you stay just a GM or something more in depth. But I can also say from my own experiences that the best connections have been made when I went to an event where actually I can see the faces and talk in more without the phone and the internet between us. So it's really something that if you have the chance, you definitely should go. It's so much fun.
And to build on that real briefly, some people in the community are very much introverted, and so it's very maybe difficult for them to motivate themselves to go. And just I would encourage anybody in that situation to really push through it. And like I said, you don't have to go to the biggest, loudest, craziest event. Just find a person or two down the road and start small and build. I think you'll find the rewards are so great that it was well worth making yourself do that, and then move on from there.
I think for us, as far as what we would like to learn, is there's so much knowledge in this community. And, each of us have a different experience, a lived experience and a life experience. And each of us have a different approach to the way that we do things. And so the more that we can learn from each other and the more that we can share with each other, it just makes us all better. So, again, we're always happy to have anybody that's willing to help us or work with us. And we're especially fond of the Light.Art family and the Miyamo art family, and particularly Matt. So we're, again, just honored to be a part.
Well, on my side, what I hope to get out of the mentorship is that I would like to learn more of the like the business aspect, like how to learn um to to get to know more my work out there, not only in Web3, but also I don't know how to approach to journalists, how to approach to galleries, to also the to expand myself to the traditional art world also, and also for the Web3 world. But most of all, this thing of try to develop more a strong brand for me, to know better how to show my work, how to express what I want to say, how to approach also to different people, and these kind of things that I always struggle a lot.
Luciana, did you want to respond to the question? What are you hoping to gain from the program?
I guess I mentioned it at the beginning, but I guess I can say it again. I need to organize myself because I am always in a lot of projects, and I know F. too because he works a lot, and we both work with physical and digital art, so I feel a very big connection with him. We also met each other in person in Rio Art Presidency, which was great, and I learned a lot from him. So I guess in this program I need to focus. Sorry, my English is really bad. I need to focus in organize myself and learn to say no to some projects from time to time and focus on the most important things. Um, Everything Barbie Ares said, I agree 100% because I think there are very important things to develop, especially if for someone that works only in Web3. In my case, I came from traditional art and I am learning how to move in Web3 space. So that is giving me a lot of advice in these different matters. So mainly, I guess that's all. And of course, I would love to reach more eyes for my art and learn to move better in the space. But I guess we are always learning all the time.
That is the truth. I feel like as an artist, there's always a push to keep learning, keep growing, keep developing. And I love that we can house this in a way that's free for the mentor and mentees to have a safe place to do that. And we hope to have more of that. Because the goal is to grow and develop together with someone that's been there a little longer than us and they have a little bit more advice, but we are all on a journey of growing and developing. So I think that's so important. I don't know if that F dot, if you wanted to jump in on this.
I really love what you're doing because, like you said, you're creating that safe space for these conversations to happen where otherwise we would just be saying yes to more projects and not carving out the time to intentionally meet with each other like this. But when it's a little bit structured, it just makes it a lot easier for us artists to schedule the chaos around it versus try to schedule it into the chaos. So I'm just really grateful for that. And then I have a soft spot for Argentina because I used to live there for a couple years, and I think Luciana was looking for one of my murals last week. So that's just been really fun to reconnect with some of the art scene down there. not sure if she found that mural. Let me know, Luciana. You were in Buenos Aires. I mean, maybe Barbie can find it if you can't find it because she's in the area. Yeah, I think I'm really excited to connect, to keep connecting with places around Latin America and artists around Latin America specifically. So this gives me the outlet for that, to do with one artist at a time. And I can see Stephanie's down there listening too. She's an artist I curated, for the Canal Street show from Colombia. So shout out to Steph and Will, co-founder Canal Street Show. I just love bringing the good art to the people, like finding people who deserve more of a spotlight in this community and bringing their work, like helping elevate it in different ways.
And you're doing a fantastic job at that. And not only in galleries, but you also do that with your studio. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
About the studio in Brooklyn?
That's right. Yeah. You also do a sort of like
Yeah.
a mentorship, or a little less than a mentorship, right?
I do a bunch of stuff with my studio. It really depends on the projects of the season. I like to kind of expand and contract the team as necessary with freelance help. I do have a part-time person helping me named Noah. He's also an artist in this community. Nolan Kosher is his Twitter. But I want to do more stuff in the studio. I've been talking about maybe starting up a residency, something tied to Canal Street Show, or tied to F. Studio. My partner is also a textile artist, so we both have dreams of hosting retreats in the future and doing things that really help artists to get to that next level. But it really depends on the season. In this season, I'm more just focused on my own projects. After doing 2 Canal Street shows this year, it was a lot. So it's this mentorship program and then my own projects for the most part. But next year, planning to do some more special stuff at the studio for sure. And obviously just like events to use the space and bring people together.
That's amazing. And we love what you're doing. And we're just so honored that you donated so much of your time to doing stuff for others, especially artists that mirror some way, somehow what you are doing. And so, we love to hear it. We love to support. So you let us know if any way, anyhow, we could be of help to you there as well. But, I love, how the community rallies together around helping each other and walking with someone that's seasoned in their time. And so, we'd love to know what everyone here is working on. If you have a project you want to talk about, I guess we'll start with the mentees. Any one of you, just, tell us a little bit about what you're working on currently.
Luciana, you go first.
So many shy voices.
I'm sorry. So sorry. I apologize. The projects I am working right now, there are a few. I have to finish a residency and a collection for a residency I started in April. The residency was from AVAX blockchain, and they given stipend to several artists who applied to create their genesis on AVAX. So I have to finish 3 or 4 artworks and means the collection in one marketplace there. This is one project. Another one project is an exhibition. I am preparing a virtual exhibition with Colonna Contemporary Gallery, and I am a little bit delayed with that, so I need to focus in this project. And another project, I have a few commissions of physical paintings I am finishing. So these are the main projects I have right now. But I am also working, and thank you, EFTA, because you encouraged me to move on with this in the creation of a few animations of my paintings. From some parts of my paintings, so I am working on that too. I hope to finish everything by the end of December. So I will be working a lot as I usually do, but these are the main projects. I have other ones because I work a lot ARL with my art. I participate in a lot of exhibitions and art contests here in Argentina, so I am very active in Web3 and in in galleries here. So it's a lot of work, but I really enjoy it. And I thought I couldn't travel to Buenos Aires, but next week I will be there and I will take pictures from your mural, I promise. And thank you so much because you are the best. I love everything you are teaching me. Thank you so much.
I would love to see that mural. So, Luciana and Barbie, when you get a chance, post it and tag us. We would love to see it. Anyone else want to go on sharing what you're currently working on?
Yes. First, I would love to know where is the mural. If Luciana could have like the address where is the mural, I would love to see it also. And currently, I'm about to start developing a new project that I'm doing some research. So the main focus of my work is in characters and fashion, in digital fashion. And so, like last month, I think it was, the government here closed the the suit museum, Museo del Traje. It was closed. So I started to think about it a lot. It was like news that a lot of people of the fashion world here was really sad about it, because it was like a big collection of clothes that have like a lot of time and tell the story of this country. And so my idea is to reach some of the people of the museum that still are working there, because then it will be like tier up, like will be in parts. The collection will be in parts in different museums around the country. So I would like to start like an initiative to create this collection in digital, and try to do something to preserve the legacy of this collection, of this culture that is like tearing apart by closing the museum. So I'm starting to do some research and talk to some people to start this.
Sounds incredible. Pop still, would you like to share what you're currently working on?
Yeah, I haven't revealed anything too much other than it's going to be very cool and different compared to my other work, and something that also gives me options to launch it a bit different, not necessarily just on ETH. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to share here today too much, but just wait and see. It'll be something I think you haven't seen in this space before. Really excited about it.
Sounds fun. Curious. Houston, Katie, you want to share a little bit about what you guys are working on?
Yes, I got original things in my church base. So I have guys some and I never got there about 26, I don't know. So I got there about 14 years about it. So I taught about 11.
Yep, and the reason Houston's a photographer, travel photographer, and the reason that we're in San Francisco, we normally live in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But we are here because we're speakers at a convention that starts tomorrow in San Francisco. It'll be a 3-day event about traveling with disabilities.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be about 200 people
200
here
people about
that are destination.
Divide or or like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's going to be somebody that's blind, somebody that's in a wheelchair,
Or have a that's what I'm doing
like yep, Down syndrome,
Yeah.
autism. It's estimated that about 20% of the population has some type of a disability, and so the event that we're attending is to how travel organizations can accommodate and market and attract people with disabilities, and so we are doing a speed dating session where they're combining influencers with the specific destinations, and then also we're speaking as part of a panel at that convention. So that's what we're doing immediately, and several other things in the pipeline that we're not going to share just yet. But
I'm not serious. I just that guy with the little face. That got me
I would-
one. Bro.
That sounds fantastic. And what an inspiration both of you are to journey through. First, diving into a career that's very much a passion forward kind of venture, but then to do it in support of a disability and how many people you are inspiring that you can do your dream, your job, right? Like you can continue on the journey of passion even when you have a disability, which you've shared. There's a big amount of people that have disabilities, but still follow their dreams and passion. And so I admire what you both are doing, Houston and Katie, and for speaking on behalf of all of them. What a journey. It's beautiful to hear. Thank you for sharing that. And I can't wait to see what you guys will continue to work on in the future.
Hey, Annie, I have a project. Should we try to share it?
Yes.
I know. I hope this will be useful to somebody. If not, I apologize for wasting people's time. But I'm going to share this in an effort. Number one, I think sometimes in Web3 and social media in general, people only want to talk about the wins and not what would be viewed as the losses. Although in this case, what project will start as a loss, I think ends up being a win. And so that's going to be the purpose for me to try to tell this story briefly. But like lots of us, spent a lot of money in 2021 in the hype and collected a lot of great art. But we're 3 years later, and I was fortunate enough this year to sell a small business, which is going to cause very fortunate, and it's going to cause a tax bill. And so with NFTs being down 90% in value, we never want to talk about that, but it's a reality, and that's one of the reasons why the market's so dead right now is collectors. They may not want to admit that, but we've stopped spending our money because we know it's true. So I decided I may not make money next year in business or the year after. You never know. I'm an entrepreneur. I go many years at a time without making money. I have a tax bill this year, so I made a difficult decision to actually acknowledge that there's been a pretty big loss in some of these NFTs, because an old saying in stocks is, or even crypto, is it's never a loss till you actually sell. So at first it was very difficult. I started moving some NFTs, and it sure 95% losses, and the first few were pretty devastating to me mentally. I just sat there, but it was reality. But what happened very, very quickly, and this is the good side of the story, what happened very quickly is, as I did this, I actually realized, and I think this is a sentiment amongst lots of collectors. It just hasn't shown up yet. I actually became even a stronger and bigger believer in NFTs and digital art. I really did. I really do. And this actually has become very positive for me as I've cleansed my collection. And by the way, tax write-offs aren't great. There's still a massive loss there, but it's not as much as it cushioned it a little bit, I would say. But over the last month or two, it's become a project because I'm spending hours and hours and hours every week doing this. But I find my belief in NFTs and digital art stronger than ever. And so that part's really cool. I think the only negative was I think I personally overpaid in 2021. That's all. But even as I was writing this off, I could always remember the conversations I had with artists, and well, wait a minute. It's not that bad because my friends got the money. It's not like a bank got the money or, somebody I would never know got the money. My friends got the money and I helped them. So overall, it's been a very positive project. And I think hopefully you guys can think about that and understand what collectors are going through. And I'm hoping more and more collectors will come to this reality relatively soon and come back into the market with renewed energy and renewed vigor.
Yes, and you started a second sale. You want to talk about that? I feel like you have a passion for secondary sales.
Yeah, I've always believed, and I still do, that the NFT digital art market needs a secondary market to be healthy. And I know there's a lot of collectors out there that say, well, I only want to buy from the artist and I don't want to buy on the secondary because that doesn't help the artist. But I've always argued that buying the secondary does help the artist long term, and we should all be in this for long term. Granted, if you buy a piece that costs $1 directly from the artist gets $1 or close to that. And if you buy it from a collector, the artist gets some royalties, 10 cents, 5 cents, or maybe not even any. But the vast majority of collectors are not in a position to buy art with zero liquidity. Like there's times where I'm fortunate enough to have some money that I can share with this community. But as I mentioned a couple minutes ago, I'm an entrepreneur, and sometimes I go years without making money, and I have to live off the reserves. And so, and I think most collectors are in that boat. And so we need to, for us to really be able to dive in and really be comfortable, and we can share more money in this community if there is some liquidity. And it doesn't have to be for a profit for a lot of us. And it doesn't even have to be a break even for a lot of us. There just has to be some level of safety where, like, if I knew I invested $1 or committed $1 to support an artist, that if I ever need that, some of that money back, I could get 50 cents back. That would make all the world of difference to myself. And I am sure the vast majority of collectors are that way. And I think as a community, we really should embrace the idea of a secondary market. And there's a lot of work because right now we don't even have a primary market right now. So we got to, but they do go hand in hand, without a doubt. And I hope that makes sense that we need both, not for profits, but just so that people can continue to support art, enjoy art, share art. And yeah, I just think that's really important.
Thank you for sharing. I think as artists, we don't always think about the overall or what collectors are thinking behind the scenes. And so your perspective is so important. But I see F. has his hand raised. F. share your thoughts.
Thanks. So I think it's an interesting discussion to talk about aligning primary and secondary markets, because in the long term, that is what makes an artist's market healthy. I mean, we can talk about the broader market, but the truth is all artists have their own personal market, and it depends on how many pieces they put out. If they only do one of ones, it's a much smaller, slower equation. If they only do editions, or they mostly do editions, then there's a lot more decisions to be made on quantities and such. So I think it really, like, to say that the market is down so low, it's an average. And I think every artist can see that average and be like, that's disheartening, or that's, something we got to improve. But I think it's also very personal to each artist. So it's not really as helpful to think about that. Like, I haven't seen the same percentage in my market or a lot of my friends' markets. And so I'm not really judging based on the overall market of NFTs. It's more within my little niche, within the niche of digital art. And before I got into this world, I was focused on a project that was in a different type of collectibles market, which was baseball cards. And I kind of fell into that world because of a commercial project that I did that was really, had a lot of creative freedom to it, where I was making these baseball cards, but I got to see them go on primary market and then secondary market. And a lot of these collectors they had different motivations for collecting. Some of them collect because they love that team or they love that player. Some of them collect because of the value or the speculation of a certain rookie in the game. And everybody has different ways that they collect and different reasons for collecting. And I'm not here to judge any of them, but I do think the secondary market, when we talk about it, it's mainly people who are trying to get in and then get out. There's not really that much collecting going on when you zoom out, especially looking at 2021. And so that's part of the reason why I didn't put out a huge collection is because I had just come straight off of that baseball card project, seeing what happens when you have that much supply out there. So now I'm kind of tiptoeing. I didn't get to answer the question earlier about like what I'm working on, but tiptoeing towards closer being able to launch a larger supply collection. And it's definitely terrifying as an artist, like think about what's going to happen to it once it's out of my hands. And is it going to get into the right wallets where people actually become good stewards for my art? And, I wanted to say before I finish speaking, sorry that all that happened and that you needed the money, Matt, and you couldn't get it. But I think the culture is changing. There's so many options now. We didn't have all these options a few years ago of how to collect, and people are self-sorting. Some people will never collect an expensive one-of-one art piece, for a very long time. Some people will lean harder into that just based on their goals, their reasoning for collecting in the first place. And then others will self-sort onto these like more social media feeds where you're minting and you're just accumulating hundreds of pieces for like nothing, for like less than $1. So I don't know. It's an exciting time to re-find your niche within all this chaos and find the market that's not necessarily going to explode, but like going to be healthy going forward and not make a similar situation to what happened, what you were describing, Matt. Hopefully that's,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Really, really well said, Epta. Really, I agree with actually everything. That was really well said. And it is self-sorting, right? Like I get it. And, I have no regrets. Hindsight's 2020. Like the actions I did, knowing what I knew at the time, I would do the same thing. Obviously, looking back, it would be a little different. But I think what's super cool is like what you said is there's so many ways to go, and every artist and or collector can find their niche. Anywhere from, buy a 101 that's going to be held for generations with no thought on what the cost is because it's going to be held for generations in the family, all the way to, like you said, the degen that would be in a casino if there was one down the block, but is instead, dealing with well, could be any price NFT, right? But they're in and they're out fast. There's people that are buying art, like you said, specific to their community, their city that they love, or a city they grew up in. If there's a piece, and then there's others. It's all across the board. Like, sorry to repeat, but you really struck a chord there, and it's exciting. And I do think that editions are super important because without a healthy secondary on, say, one-of-ones, I think editions do provide that level of liquidity that somebody like myself needs just for some safety. So I can support an artist more easily on an edition because I can assume that there's going to be some type of liquidity if needed down the road. And but with that being said, I also love leaning into one-on-ones when the time's appropriate, right? So it's super cool and super exciting, and I'm more bullish than ever as to why we should all be here. Annie, thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this is the kind of wisdom and information and insights that most artists need, but just someone that's been a little seasoned in life, a little bit ahead of us, that can impart information or wisdom. And then as an artist, it's my duty then to assess and make adjustment based on the wisdom that I just received, right? And I think the benefit of having or being involved in a mentorship program like what Light.Art is doing is this welcoming of information and sharing and bouncing ideas off and walking together in a season, because it's a short time, right? Then what you do from then on, it's up to you. But I think there's mentors all around us. It's not limited to what we're doing. We welcome everyone to join what we are doing, and we would love to hear if you want to be involved as a mentor, because we are looking for mentors. But I think we are in a community that's so giving and so loving and sharing, that being intentional, we have to go out of our way a little bit to be intentional about following up and finding someone that can help us on this journey that we're walking on. And so we facilitate that. We would love to hear if this is something that benefits you for the future and you want to be involved. We would be releasing season 2 soon, maybe. We're debating on the holiday weekends, but but we're looking forward to seeing how this pilot program works out so that we can roll out maybe a bigger team, that we can help more artists or more involved, more mentees could get involved. And so we look forward to hearing how this all turns out. We're so grateful for your participation. Thank you for all of you who joined our mentorship program and applied. And we hope to implement those that did apply for season 1 and want to keep on, keep their applications open for season 2. We are very excited to see what the future holds.
Hey, thanks, Annie, and thanks to everybody who joined us on stage and to all the listeners. Hopefully you all found this hour enjoyable and at least a little bit rewarding.
We do have a Discord. We want to let you know that if you want to join our Discord community, through our Discord Share Art channel, we use a lot of the art there and we share on our posts, and we do a newsletter twice a month, where we share arts, and we would love for you to connect with us there and connect with us on Discord, and we would love to share your art as well. And so I'm going to post that here, which I should have done a little earlier. Please stay in touch. Please stay connected to us and see. We're here for the community. We want to be a bridge and we want to be a community if you don't have one. And so please join our venture. With that said, we're coming up to the hour. Is there anything that any one of you want to say? Any last words?
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. Thanks. You are helping a lot, and a lot to me and a lot of artists. So thanks for this.
Thank you.
Yep, we want to say thank you. It's an awesome opportunity, and anything we can do to help the community grow is, I think it benefits everybody.
Yes, to all the Light.Art team, to all the mentors. It's amazing what you're doing for the community doing this.
Well, thank you all. We're so grateful that we could do this. We're grateful. Thank you, Matt, for allowing us a space to do this as well, and for our team, our small but impactful team. I'm very inspired by our little niche of teammates. So thank you all. But thank you all for joining us. Please stay tuned. We would love to hear from you, and stay tuned for our Tuesday spaces. We're always highlighting, spotlighting an artist in our space. So, we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. Thank you so much for being with us. We are Light Art, a community and a member of Me Llamo Art Foundation. Together, we are empowering artists, inspiring collectors, and building community together for art. And with that said, have a great Tuesday.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.